Hey guys, Jonesy from NSP here. Front of the camera again. We're going to fix a ding. I got a small ding here in my Protech. It actually fell out of the car and smacked the ground, so it's a little bit of a chip. So anyway, let's get rid of him and let's get repairing. So yeah, what you need to do is, obviously you can see a bit of repair there. I've sucked on it, so I know that it's actually through to the foam, so we really do need to repair it.
12 seconds later.
So as you can see, I'm using a really coarse sandpaper. This is probably like a 40 or 60 grit, and it really scuffs it up, which will mean that the resin will really stick to the board. So we give it a good sand. Don't be afraid to get into it.
A few minutes later.
Alright, that's looking pretty good. The next step we use is we get a bit of solar res. So just make sure that you get an epoxy solar res. Epoxy solar res will do a PU board and an epoxy board. These Protechs are epoxy, so we need the epoxy solar res. And we also need a bit of a plastic sheet, a clear plastic sheet. Glad wrap, you can use Glad wrap, but it's a little bit thin. You kind of want a bit of something off a plastic bag or something like that. They actually do come with it when you buy your solar res. So all you basically do is just put your solar res on. There's not much in this one. We'll get it out. Alright, there we go. Alright, so put your solar res on. And make sure you do this not in the direct sunlight. Now you just put your bag over, kind of smudge it around so it's nice and around, get it all there. And if you do it in the shade, then you're going to have a little bit more time, right? And then just smooth it over with your bag. This is in a bit of a tricky spot because it is it's a kind of a rounded shape. All right. So once it's kind of like done like that, then we just move it into the sun and it will dry pretty quickly. Alright. Alright, so now we'll just move that into the sun, just like that. So now that's in the direct sunlight, so that's gonna set pretty quickly. Like I said, this tail is a little bit awkward because it's kind of a rounded shape. When it's on a rail or on the flat of your board, it's a lot easier to get a really nice surface with this plastic. So we just leave that on there with the direct sunlight. That's kind of curing up now nicely. Alright, now we just leave that there for a couple of minutes to let it really harden up before we can take the plastic off.
5 minutes later.
Alright guys, so that's just a little bit thin on this side here. So I'm just going to do it again. All we need to do is just get your solar res. We can do it in the sunlight, just got to be a little bit quicker, that's all. So we just put a little bit more solar res on. Alright, we get our plastic sheet. We kind of squish it around a little bit. So this is the area that I needed a bit more. Get your finger, squish it around, right, and now just let it set in the sun. Okay, there we go, and just leave it there for a couple of minutes.
A few minutes later.
Alright, that's getting pretty good now. As you can see, it's pretty sweet. Alright, so obviously that's nearly done. Looking really good. So if you have a look at that, it's pretty much spot on now. So yeah, I mean, it obviously doesn't look good. So now you probably just need to spray it up. So you can just kind of either match it up yourself with the colour, or you could go and try to get a colour match. NSP have all the codes there available for each board, so you could just get the colour match codes, go into your local paint store and yeah, get the paint. This is like a baby blue, this colour. So yeah, or I mean, this is a spot's pretty hard, but if it was on the rail or the deck, you could just put a sticker over it. I always find just to plop a sticker on is pretty good. This is a pretty hard spot to put a sticker on, so yeah, eventually I'm just going to have to kind of colour match that, get the codes off NSP and spray it up and be good as gold. Alright, well I hope that helps, and yeah, happy ding repairing. Alright, see you later.